And I believe this will be the last video of the day. So this is a spotter. It's not that big. I had never even heard of this brand before, but every time I read this name off, I can't help but think of the South Park episode where Cartman pretends to be mentally handicapped to win a cash prize at the Special Olympics. Because he's walking around going, "Durr!" and it's like, wow. Anyways, it's an unusual machine. It's like, it has this kind of strainer cloth in here, and it's just got a velcroed, it's a velcro pouch, so you can open this up and just get whatever dry objects would be going through here. Now, I have seen that there were some potentially later models that did a few things different. Like they had the hose port up here instead of down here. I can't remember if they kept this hole in here or not, and then instead of having a screw-off port, they just had a clear port over here. And I don't know if this is original to it or not, but it actually has no form of I haven't done much with this machine. I haven't really done anything. But it doesn't have any sort of float on it, which I suppose, they were probably thinking, if we make the dirty solution tank larger than the clean water tank, it doesn't need to have one, but there's plenty of situations in which you're going to be, applying additional liquids, whether in the form of pre-spray or whatever, and you're going to need more capacity than just your clean water tank. So, not something I'm super thrilled to see in it, but it's like, okay. And I don't think this company's around anymore. At least from what I've seen. I don't believe they are. And it does have a heater. I don't really like their switch system. Like the Sandia's is a little bit better because you have a switch for your vacuum, your heater, and your pump. But this, you either run the vacuum in the pump or you run the heat, or it's off. And this, the heater in here is not like an inline heater. It's actually like a tank style heater. I don't think you guys will be able to see that very well. Well, you can see a little bit of it, but yeah, you can see a heating element down there. So it warms the tank, and it has like a thermostat, so it's supposed to stop heating when it reaches a certain point. And, there's going to be pros and cons to both types, because I know inline heaters are prone to becoming clogged with, gunk. Usually, a soap buildup. And this I really don't like. Why did they put the cord on the front? It's like, if they were going to do that, they could have at least installed a strap somewhere to keep this out of the way. But instead, as you're potentially moving this thing around, the cord's going to want to go under the machine. So dumb. So dumb. And then this is not a standard 1/4 inch connector. It's actually an 1/8 inch connector. And I think this is a replacement, because I have never seen any company use this as their water line before. It's very stiff, very kind of brittle feeling almost. So I don't want to bend that too much. But yeah, it also leaks a little bit too. So I don't know if that's an OEM thing or if somebody just replaced it with the cheapest material they could get at some point or what. Hose, it's about 15 feet and appears to be 1.25 inches, because I know these adapters on the end are 1.25 to 1.5 inches. And let's see the tools here. We have an upholstery tool, just a standard external jet, and then I think I put this brace on backwards. It's like, yeah, I had to take the jets off both of these things because they just had so much gunk caught in them. So once I got those cleared out, I think I had to take this one off a second time, because it's like once I had gotten that cleared out and put it back on, then any gunk that was stuck in here kind of forced its way into that nozzle. Unfortunate, but could have been so much worse. But yeah, it also comes with a carpet wand. Just a single jet, clear head. And we got a little handle on there. Very basic. Still kind of neat to see, though, for a spotter. You know, they obviously thought a little bit about making it multifunctional rather than just having a single purpose to it. But let's take a look at its electrical usage here, and then we're just going to run some quick tests on this thing. I probably won't do the actual performance at the end of the heads here, because it's like I just don't feel like it. Okay, so clearly it must have some sort of pressure pressure sensor in there or something, because I mean the heater will not turn on unless the yep, so there's the wattage, although that's in yeah, that's a pretty energy hungry heater, isn't it? But I mean, I suppose I can understand why, you know, it doesn't have a switch for all three of them now, because just running this and, you know, another motor would probably trip it, like a 15 amp circuit, possibly even a 20. So yeah, I get it now. So let's turn on the vacuum and the pump. Yeah, that's one thing I hate about these lines on here. It leaks. And it's like yep, it's definitely coming from that little connection right there. Alright, so we'll take an airflow measurement at the nozzle inlet here. And there we go, 15 feet away. Let's see how it does. Alright, I don't feel like actually making a mess in order to demonstrate this thing, so we're just going to go ahead and use it. Obviously, with every machine, there's pros and cons. You know, that's just to be expected. It's like, I don't think that this is as well built as the Sandia. It just doesn't feel as solid to me. And I'm not super fond of the way they set up the bottom of this thing with the dirty tank being over the clean water tank. You know, they have they have no support on the front side for the clean water tank. You know, they just have a caster wheel on this side and a caster wheel on this side. So I mean, obviously there's got to be some sort of bolts through the tanks that are supporting the weight from that, and it's like probably isn't the best way to go. That's just my opinion on it, of course, but Of course, we have our little filter bag. And I also don't like that it's kind of difficult to dump this. I know, that's kind of nitpicking, but I mean, I don't like leaving a bunch of solution or water in my machines when I'm done with them. So it would be nice, you know, if it had an easier way to just dump this out. I mean, yeah, I can tip this, you know, tip this and try to dump it out through here, but this this ring here creates a little bit more of a lip, so then you have a harder time getting it out of there. And I don't really care for the way this tank dumps either. It's just got this big old hole on the front, you know, at least with the Sandia spotter, you know, it all comes out at a nice little port on the front, so it pours out pretty smoothly, but emptying this can be a little bit messy.